Test screenings, referred pain. Toward the end of the editing process on Julia, Fred Zinnemann observed that he felt the director and the editor, alone with the film for months and months, could only go 90% of the way toward the finished film. That what he needed for the last 10% was the participation of the audience, whom he saw as his final collaborators. Not in the sense that he would respond to them blindly, but that he felt their presence was helpful as a corrective to keep certain obsessions from becoming corrosive and to point out blind spots that may have developed through overfamiliarity with the material. This has certainly been my experience. All of the films I've worked on have been tested before large audiences, except that for The Conversation and Unbearable Lightness. We had screenings of them, of course, but we never had wide-open public screenings. Francis Coppola, in particular ways, has always been an enthusiastic supporter of screening his films, almost at any stage, almost no matter how unfinished they were. Rough screenings would be for small groups, about 10 people whom he knew, mixed with 2 or 3 people who were strangers. The strangers would have no previous idea what this film was about, and he would question them afterward, on a one-to-one basis to compare their opinions to the reaction of the people who did know about the film. Fred Zinnemann, by contrast, would show Julia to a preview audience only when it was technically completely finished, with a cut negative and optical soundtrack. He was perfectly prepared to change it after that, but he doesn't believe that general audiences can completely discount visible splices, color mismatches, and incomplete soundtracks, and I agree with him. Even with technically finished films, public previews are tricky things. You can learn a tremendous amount from them, but you have to be cautious about direct interpretations of what people have to say to you, particularly on those cards they fill out after the screening. I'm extremely suspicious of those. The most helpful thing of all is simply learning how you feel when a film is being shown to 600 people who have never seen it before. Emotionally, it seems like some big hand has come and grabbed you by the hair, picked you up, and put you down 90 degrees to one side, and you think, oh God, look at that. It's as if, up to this moment, you've been constructing a building, but always standing in front of it to evaluate it. Now, all of a sudden, you are looking at the side of the building and seeing things you seem to have never seen before. You shouldn't blindly follow what you learn from these test screenings any more than you should anything else. What can you learn from the differences between the previous screening and this one? Given these 2 headings, where is the North Pole? Test screenings are just a way to find out where you are.